Hi, everybody. My name is Ms. White, and I am one of the two coaches for the Cottage Grove Middle School speech team. What is speech team? It is our competitive performance group. Speech team has been a staple of Cottage Grove Middle School since before I joined the building in 2006. It is a winter opportunity that runs in January and February on three competition dates this year, one Friday and two Saturdays, for students to get together from other school districts to compete for ribbons and prizes and develop their communication skills. You can do this club as a solo competitor, or you can get a teammate and compete as a dramatic duo. But we'll get into those categories in just a minute. This is also a great opportunity to be involved in out of school or in an extracurricular activity, especially for those folks that don't have a lot of time to give to their after school commitments. This is a once a week practice commitment, or you can communicate digitally and send us videos of your performance, and we can give you critiques to get you prepared for the competitions. We support each other, but also this is a great club for someone to kind of work on their own schedule without worrying about meeting and matching up with a lot of other people's different schedules. And it looks great on a job resume and scholarship form. So what are the categories? I'm going to go through just the first few pieces of them, and then I'll pass it over to Miss Morehauser, who will explain the rest. There are original oratory, informative, and creative expression. Those categories are ones you can write yourself. An original oratory can be more of that persuasive essay. You have an opinion, you want to write about it, you want to research it. You can persuade, they're looking for that persuasive element. For informative, you are speaking about just a topic that you're really passionate, be it horse riding, Johnny Depp, or Minecraft. For creative expression, you are doing short story writing or poetry writing. All of your pieces need to combine or equal about 5 to 8 minutes of performance time. And these pieces are graded not just on your performance, but on the actual writing. And now I'll pass it over to Ms. Morehauser, who will explain the rest.
Hi, everyone. I am Mrs. Morehauser. I'm the other speech coach along with Miss White, and I'm going to continue where she left off, telling you about some more of our speech categories. The first two I'm going to talk about are our draw categories. We have extemporaneous reading and storytelling. Both of these two categories will give you your reading selections. So you'll have all of the items that you'll need to practice before you go to a meet. Extemporaneous reading are selections from printed story, and storytelling are actual stories from beginning to end. Your job is to prepare all of the text you are provided, and then on the day of the meet, you get to draw, and you'll find out which of those stories or readings you'll present to the judge. Extemporaneous reading allows you to have a script, and that is kind of like your backup. The goal is to have as much of it memorized as possible, only to use that when needed. But for storytelling, you don't get to have any kind of script, so it's a little bit more challenging. And some people think that's what makes it more fun. Storytelling also is the one category where you're allowed a little more leeway in how you move in front of the judge, almost like you're on a stage. And when you present your stories, it's all about the storytelling technique. The next speech I want to talk about is great speeches. Great speeches is where you choose a speech that someone else has delivered, a great speech from history. And your job is to present parts of that speech and then analyze what the speaker originally said. Tell your thoughts about what they meant and about the importance of that speech to history and the people that it impacted. So it's a combination of saying someone else's words and then also adding your own words into the mix with your analysis. The bottom of the right-hand side of our slide here has quite a few categories. They're all lumped together. serious and humorous prose, poetry, and drama. And then dramatic duo is kind of thrown in on the bottom there. So, serious and humorous prose is kind of what it sounds like. Prose being text from a story. So, either you're presenting something that has a serious tone to it, or you're presenting something that's meant to be hilarious. Your job is to present it in a way that communicates that to your judge. Now, you can choose prose, which is again story, written in paragraphs, including dialogue. You can make selections from any of the books that you may have read. Then you have poetry, and you can choose a collection of poems because usually one poem by itself is too short. Now, that's not always the case, but oftentimes in the poetry category here, people will choose a collection of poems that are all related to each other. The other option is to choose drama, where you are presenting a script. So you'll have different characters. Sometimes maybe you'll have a monologue, a monologue where you're presenting one person from the script of a play, or if it was written entirely to be a monologue with only one character, perhaps that's what you'd present. If your scene has more than one character, that can be kind of interesting because then you need to do different voices and present different personalities. Now, that leads us into dramatic duo. Dramatic duo is a two-person category. So you would work with a second person and you would choose a script. That's the dramatic part of it, the drama. You would choose a script that has your two characters and you present that script almost like you're acting out the scene. But of course, you're not on a stage. You don't have costuming and props to help you present your scene. So you have to rely a lot on your vocal presentation, on the sound of your voice, on the tone of your voice to give your characters life. It is kind of nice because you do have a second person there with you. So that is an option as well. So some things to note. Pieces don't have to be memorized. Again, the more we have them memorized, the better your performance will be. But the only one that has to be memorized for sure is storytelling, because you can't use any kind of script, paper in your hand, notes to help you present. Every piece, no matter which category you choose, does have to have a 30-second introduction. You have to write that. That includes the title of the piece, the author of the piece, and some kind of interesting connection to get our judges interested in what you're going to present to them. Now, your total speaking time is from 5 to 8 minutes. Our goal when we practice is to be on the long end, because most of the time when we present, we go a little bit faster than we did in our practice because we're a little more nervous and excited. And so we tend to speed things up. So plan on having a piece that's on the longer end of our 5 to 8 minute requirement. You'll be performing at a meet 2 times. You'll get 2 different judges, and it says at 9 and 10. Don't worry about the times; that'll change depending on the meet that we go to. One of our meets this year is on a Friday night instead of being on a Saturday morning, which is typically when they are. But the idea is you'll present to 2 different judges, and you'll present the same piece twice. So you'll kind of practice and then present to the first judge. Think about how you did with your first presentation and make some tweaks, make some practicing notes in your head, and then present to that second judge. And so between the 2 presentations, you're going to be given letter grades, which will equate to the color of ribbon that you earn for the meet. If you get 2 A's, an A from your first judge and your second judge, that's a blue ribbon, and so on. You can kind of see across the screen. If you had a B and a C from a judge, the final item on our list there, that would be a purple ribbon. Everybody earns a ribbon no matter how they perform. You'll just have to kind of determine your ribbons based on the grades that you're assigned by your judges. So our speech season this year looks like this. We have 3 meets. Our first meet is Saturday, January 15th. It's at Dakota Hills Middle School in Eagan. Our second meet is a Friday night meet, which is a new thing that we're trying this year. It is on Friday, January 21st, and it's at Falcon Ridge Middle School in Apple Valley. And then our final meet is Saturday, February 5th. That one is at Northfield Middle School in Northfield, Minnesota. Now, there are some protocols we have to follow with our meets this year. We do have to wear masks when we are in the building. However, when you are performing your speech in front of your judge, you are allowed the option to unmask for your performance. And then as soon as you're done, you put your mask back on. The judges, the audience, and observers in your rooms will remain masked. There is concessions, but food is only going to be eaten in designated areas in the cafeteria or commons of the school that you're in. Large gatherings of students will be discouraged. Again, that's a COVID protocol that we're following to make sure that we're adding in social distancing for our teams. Families are welcome, but should be limited, and you want to keep your distance from other students. That idea of social distancing applies to them as well. So, in order to participate on the speech team, which is a super fun activity to be involved with, there is a fee. It's $35. Scholarships are available. So if that amount is something that's difficult for you to do, maybe you can only manage a part of it or not any of it, please talk to Miss White or to me, and we will make sure that you have a scholarship available to you. The whole purpose of the fee is to help pay for ribbons and meet fees. Each time that we participate in a meet, we send money to the school where we're heading to take care of the costs that they incur in running the meet in their building.